Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Mrs. Gallagher, and today we're going to learn how to solve systems of equations algebraically by substitution. So another way to solve a system of equations is called the substitution method. So we're going to solve by using the substitution method. This is a way to solve a system of equations by solving one of the equations for its variables. One way to use the substitution method is to set the two equations equal to each other. So we're going to set the two equations equal to each other. And there's 4 steps when solving a system of equations using substitution. Step 1, we want to set the equations equal to each other. So step 1, we're going to set the equations equal to each other. Step 2, we're going to solve for x. So step 2, we're going to solve for x. Step 3, we're going to substitute the x value that we just solved for to solve for y. So we're going to substitute the x value in the equation to solve for y. And then our last step, step 4, we're going to put x and y into a coordinate. And that is your final answer. So we want to put x and y into a coordinate, xy, and that will be your final answer. So after discussing the steps, let's do some examples of how to use the substitution method. So let's read our directions. It states, solve the system of equations by using the substitution method. Y equals negative x plus 3 and y equals x plus 5. Notice they are both in intercept form, slope-intercept form, but there's no graph. Therefore, we're going to solve it algebraically. Now, if you look here, it says y equals negative x plus 3, and then it says y equals x plus 5. They're both equal to y. Therefore, we're going to set them equal to each other to find our x value. Because remember, y equals y. So y equals y. And we know that negative x plus 3 is equal to y equals, our second equation is x plus 5. So you want to set them equal to each other. And now you're going to solve this. Your first step is to undo your smaller variable. So you're going to add x to both sides. Those cancel. So we have 3 equals x plus x is 2x. Plus 5. Next step, because we have a 2-step equation, you want to subtract 5 from both sides. 5's cancel. So we have 3 minus 5 is negative 2 equals 2x. Our last step, you want to get x by itself, so divide by 2. So negative 2 divided by a positive 2 equals a negative 1. So we know x equals a negative 1. Now we found x here, but we also want to find y. So to find y, we're going to substitute our x value into one of the equations. Either or, it doesn't matter which equation. So we're going to substitute the x value in either equation to find y. I'm going to pick the second equation because there's no negatives in the second equation. So I'm going to say y equals x plus 5. And I'm going to substitute negative 1 for my x here. So y equals negative 1 plus 5. Negative 1 plus 5 gives us a positive 4. So y equals 4. Now, say if you picked the first equation instead. Say if you picked y equals negative x plus 3. You're still going to plug in your negative 1 for your x. So y equals, you have a negative from the x, a negative 1 plus 3. You have 2 negatives, and that gives you a positive. So you have 1 plus 3. Therefore, y equals 4. So it does not matter which equation you pick. Either or, you will get the same answer. But we're not done yet. We want to have our final answer in an ordered pair, in an XY form. So we just solve for x. X is equal to negative 1 so negative 1, and your y is equal to 4. So your final answer is negative 1, 4. That means when you replace x for negative 1, your y is going to always equal negative 4. Let's do another example together. Let's look at example 2. It says y equals 2x plus 6 and y equals x plus 3. These are both equal to each other because they're both equal to y, and y is always equal to y. So now let's replace the y's with our first equation, 2x plus 6. 2x plus 6 equals our second equation, which is x plus 3. So now our next step is to undo our smaller variable, which is x. So we're going to subtract x from both sides. X is canceled to the right. So now you look at 2 minus 1x is 1x. Plus 6 equals 3. Next step is to subtract 6 from both sides. So 1x equals negative 3. Divide both sides by 1. And x equals negative 3. So we found our x value, which is equal to negative 3. We just solved for x. X is equal to negative 3. And now we want to substitute our x value into one of the two equations to find the y. I'm going to substitute it in my first equation. So you have y equals 2x plus 6. Y equals 2. We just solved for x. X equals negative 3, so you're going to plug it in for your x value. So times negative 3 plus 6. Y equals 2 times negative 3 is negative 6 plus 6. And negative 6 plus 6 gives you 0. So y equals 0. Again, if you plugged it into the second equation, you would get the same answer. Negative 3 plus 3 equals 0. So your answer is always going to be in a xy form. So your x is equal to negative 3 and your y is equal to 0. And that is your answer. This coordinate satisfies both of these equations. Let's do another example together. So let's look at example 3, which is a word problem, and we will be dealing with word problems with system of equations. And it says Deborah has 2 paintings in her portfolio and paints 3 more each week. Kai has 12 paintings in her portfolio and paints 2 more each week. After how many weeks will Deborah and Kai have the same number of paintings? So let's first identify what we need to know. We know Deborah has 2 paintings in her portfolio already and paints 3 more each week. So let's write that down. Deborah has equals 2 paintings plus 3W, 3 a week. Now Kai has 12 paintings in her portfolio and paints 3 more each week. So we have K equals, she has 12 paintings plus 2 more a week, so 2W. And the question states, after how many weeks will Deborah and Kai have the same number of paintings? So we want to set them equal to each other because it's the same number. So let's set them equal. We have 2 plus 3W equals 12 plus 2W. Our next step is to undo the smaller variable. So you're going to subtract 2W from both sides because 2W is smaller than 3W. These cancel. So you have 2 plus 1W equals 12. Next step, we have a 2-step equation. Subtract 2 from each side. Those cancel. So 1W equals 10. Divide by 1. And W is equal to 10 weeks. And that is your answer. Now if I ask you the question, how many total paintings will they have after 10 weeks? What would you do now? So how many paintings would they have in total? So we just figured out it is 10 weeks, and all you would do is you would substitute 10 for either equation. And we'll do Deborah. So we'll say Deborah is equal to 2 plus 3w. We found out that our w is equal to 10, so 2 plus 3 times 10. So we have 2 plus 3 times 10 is 30. Therefore, it would be 32 paintings they would have. And that is your answer. So now what I'd like you to do is the you try section. Please complete the following problems, numbers 1, 2, and 3, and we will discuss it in class. Thank you.